yesterday what we did, just to let you know, I felt that you more or less comfortable with this, huh?
Yes.
And evaluation, I think you more or less, you know what is the basic of it, right? So what I felt is toward the end of this week, you more or less cover this. So what we will do is that next week, we have asked one of our associates who are simply just the project managers. Yeah. We looking for the sector, right? Like you guys, right? So we can have one day that person. She doesn't look at it from this. She looks from the project side. Yeah. And then you can go through the cycle, and then let you see this is what they're thinking. Yeah. So anything that you do and that you plan, don't assume. Yeah. Because I've been talking to a number of project managers in the line ministry, and they were complaining, this guy don't know what they're doing. You know, they just give me all this stuff, and I couldn't fit it. I couldn't do it. And that happened. Okay. So basically, you come here, you want to see what's the figure in the project is doing. Yeah. So I would like to do it on Tuesday, not on Monday, but she couldn't. She will come here on Tuesday. So and then what I'm going to do is on Tuesday, after Tuesday, I'm going to try to link it to all these things that we talk about to the result. Okay. So I'll switch it off now.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll switch it off. Make you headache.
It's complex.
I'll bring it back a bit later. I went and yesterday I just went to do a little bit of checkpoint. What we presented, what we have missed. I'll bring a few things out first before I get into the indicators, right? Do you have something? You say you have a flow. You have a, I saw that you have like a duty, responsibility, who doing what, report this and that. Do you have kind of the whole metrics of M&E, whereby how do you do the reports and how do you communicate results? Do you have something like that?
No.
Similar to that one?
Yeah, I saw that in there, but I
It's
think
here.
the book. Yeah.
Institutional set of functional indicators.
Yes.
Yeah. I think you have that, but have a look at it and see whether you can improve on that. Yeah? And this is very interesting. It was done by one of our consultants, right? So you have quite specific. This is various line ministry or a department. Okay. And in terms of reports, right? At the moment, I think, do you know who doing report what and where? I know that it's going to be fun, right? And do you know that for the entire, look at it from you, but I don't know how far you're going to go. And do you know what that they're doing? Well, how do they reports, right? So this what this does is give this agency, this department, whatever, and these are the sort of report that they do. Okay, and I put the term here. One is receipt, and one is the compiling the report, and one is the actually put the data. And then we sort of and it is text, mostly text, when we did the assessments, and then the time frame, yeah. And from this you can see the whole thing. Yes? And this is just the report. And then how do they communicate? And further down, you look at it. The meeting. I mean, great, you get all these plum reports and this report. What do you do? Where? When? I know you have to send it, give to different people. Yeah? And then this is monitoring, more or less, right? Monitoring? Yes. Look at progress and things, and at the end, what do you do? And then, of course, the time frame. When? Yes? And then from here, you're going to start to see that there is possibly duplication and so on, right? And then down here, remember that evaluation, we're looking at the report impact, yeah? The car or the car, female, whatever, yeah? Positive impact. And what did you do? I mean, you look at the report, great. Where does it get placed? By who? Yeah? This is this is monitoring, And this is impact, which is evaluations. Is that make sense to you?
So you mean to say till outcome is monitoring
Yes.
and impact assessment
That's
is
right.
evaluation?
That's right. We look at the report, yeah, that report will show you what it is. But where in your organization, in the alignment is, where do you use it exactly? So rather than you see just the report, you actually see the whole thing, right? So at the moment, when I look at this, this is one dimension of it, right? I think in the book I saw it. Yeah. This one, yeah. Yeah. But this is I like this because it's clearly mapped out. Yeah. Map out the entire or the stakeholder. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the dissemination. Okay. I just picked it up yesterday that I want to add on to what we talked about. Yeah? Now, I'm going to continue from yesterday. Okay. We've been through this, yes? Okay. Tell me to stop when I finished it off yesterday. We've been through this? Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Second one.
Second one wasn't there? Yes. Sector. Sector. I put the word sector in red here. Why did I do that? I looked at it last night. Okay. I think I look at this one. Yeah. There's the activities.
Yeah.
This is from the program level. Okay. And deep down, you have projects. Yes. And the project is more or less following the activity or the programs.
Projects are within the program.
In the program. Yeah. And my question is, what are these activities for?
Activities are for project managers.
Sorry. But their activity are different. There are more details.
Those are sub-activities.
Project is
Huh?
project is for the activity because activity in Rotary project
This
is not a
activity
so much.
must be the program components.
Project
I-
activity in Angono.
I
What activity we are talking about?
I couldn't see. I couldn't see. From each of these, going deeper, connected to what? I couldn't see. I know the program, yes, because the program is much easier for the project manager to look at this.
Still once we will not.
The level of details will be indicated only during the annual budgeting process.
Yes.
So the one which is indicated there is basically, as you mentioned, it's a component under the program.
Yes.
So each component would be further broken down into
Yes.
various projects.
Yes. Yes. So
Maybe one component can have maybe 6, 7, or
Yes.
10,
Yes.
3, 4 projects.
yes. Yes.
So the level of detailings could be, based on the individual projects.
Yes.
And then later on, when we have this annual budgeting,
Yes.
those can be broken down.
Yes.
But for the simplicity's sake, in the clubs we have actually decided to incorporate only at the broader level.
Yes. Okay. What?
So
Well.
when you now see the annual work plan and budget under each of the components,
Yes.
under each of the programs,
Yes.
then those activities are very detailed.
Yes.
So the procurement of computer, procurement of laptop,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
training of farmers,
Yeah.
training of the staff,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
So those are broken down like that.
Yeah. What I will go through a bit later in the separate session for this, right? In a bit more detail. I've got some example that when I go to talk to the project managers in some other places, right, they couldn't follow this activity. That they could, because they say this is too high level. And then what they're really aiming to, they mainly connect themselves, linking to what I'm saying, linking to the program much easier for them. But when they go specific like this, this is no, we couldn't. So eventually this thing doesn't go anywhere. But yet we've been talking about we can monitor progress, yeah, for the past few days. And what I will talk a little bit, but talk later. There was organization. They do their plan, detailed plan, okay, in details. We'll see it a bit later. And then for the planning, they come up with the high-level activities, hope to fit with this. And I ask them, how is it connected? They say, not really. And they say, this is just to fit with the plan. So basically, this doesn't go to the ground. So you're not really measuring what really happened. Someone in the middle interpreted for you. So anyway, so that when we go to this session, I'm going to let you know how we do it and how we connect. So basically, that's going to be a problem, a linking. Yeah. So program could be used. Did they do this? No. This is a new one, isn't it? Program could be used. Location, you know. Yeah. So we all agree that there's going to be some sort of in Plum or whatever, you're going to have the columns of the locations for the line ministry or programs, right? For the Donga, good enough. Yeah. So basically, in that case, so you're going to link everything through the location, which is Donga, right? And link is not good enough. Link is not good enough. Someone has to be there, accountable. Yes. So it's great to get information, but nothing really happening. So you're going to say, here you have the report to Donga, the governor. Your responsibility. So they're going to come and talk to whoever the clan in the Donga, and also talking to the line ministry for the Donga, the activity that happened. So it will be his responsibility or her responsibility. So account. So that linking, yeah, that could be a problem. What do I mean? Sorry? Yeah, because at the moment your situation is that your target is not clear, you're not sure. Yeah. Your indicator is not sure too. Yeah. But yet you're going to start your budget, what will start happening next year, isn't it? No, next month, the implementation and all those things. Yeah. So it's moving. Yeah. But when you came here, you say you're not comfortable with outcome. Yeah. The question is, are you going to stop to make sure you're comfortable with it, and then you do? Unfortunately, not. It's moving. Yeah. So basically, what you so you have to be able to accept that. Yeah. And then hopefully you screen it. Hopefully next year is better. Safety. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you understand things moving. And just the other thing is that when the plan coming in, yeah, tender development plan coming in, I know these are consultations, yeah, and the consultation, I don't think that they go and consult every week, do they? No, I don't think so. Yeah. Yes. Do you go and consult every week before you come up with the plan? No, I don't think so. Yeah, so you come up, you have the quarter, and then you write it. But why you have that thing was already changed in the ground? Yes? Do you understand what I'm saying there?
No.
You, when you develop development plans, right? You do a consultation, various consultations, and you know all those things.
Yeah.
And you say, okay, that's what is needed on the ground, and you put it into your plan. You know, by the time that you do consult and put in the plan, of course, it could be 6 months or 3 months, maybe. Yeah.
What happens if they
Can plan. It comes from the guilds and topics. We don't really need it.
And if there are any changes, it has to come again from the guilds and the topics.
Yeah, I do understand. Yeah, but the process of from that bit all to the top, how long does it take? But well, mostly politicians. But this is the first time that you have politicians. First time, yeah. And you're going to have politicians come and saying to you, your plan is too late, not responsive. Have you heard of the guy called Thaksin? Yeah. Thaksin Shinawatra. He said, I will not follow any of these 10 plans. It doesn't reflect the need. Because the politician talks to these people every day. And I talk to the plan organization like, like yourself. Yeah? Because they don't have mechanisms. Yeah? I mean, I know according to you, they have to report this. But it's not instant. I mean, on the whatever daily. And so what I'd like to remind you, right, now you have to plan. This is going to be a tools. Remember I mentioned to you the first organization that we work with? They no longer, after 5 years, they no longer have the plan at the local level, back to the central. Because they've got this mechanism, monitoring and evaluation through MIS, Plum. Okay, so that sort of thing is happening. And then I was working on the ground, not as a project manager. I was on a community with politicians, and things change, demand change all the time. Do you understand this? In general, you have a plan, right? This is what you want to do, and this you have the budget set and all those things. But when the budget is not utilized, so you have to switch and change to something else, right? I know you're saying, okay, when you do it, you consider it and all those things. But however, are you looking at the total outcome while you're doing that? You look at outcome, indicator or just an outcome? Indicator will change, of course. Yes.
Outcome will be.
Sorry?
Outcome should mean same.
You have an outcome when you plan, right? And you have this indicator. This is you do this, you're going to have that, right? When you come down to the end, you have to do something, right? Because it's not achieved, you have to change it, right? So really, technically, you should always look back, yeah. But I know that you're trying to do. But are you certain that you really, right? Are you really? What do you change? Is it really affecting the same outcome or change the outcome?
Same outcome.
Are you sure?
Yes. We ensure it is same outcome. Because there is no major repercussion.
And how do you know it's the same? Because there's no mechanism yet. Because you don't use system on it like that yet. How do you know? How do you know when you change it? And did you try to do a simulation or something?
Because the system does not allow them to change, make major changes. For example, capital to capital. For example, not from capital to current. This sort of rules and regulation exist. So that there is no changes in outcome.
But once good that you have that confidence. But Plum systems should be able to help you with this because you have the link connection we talked about. So that will help you with this. But eventually there should be this, shouldn't it? There should be budgets not utilized. Because everything, if you monitor, you track it. It should be 100%, should it? But at the moment, yes, understand, because you know you're doing your best. You know, it is because you're not tracking it all the time. People, there's so many of them. So with M&E, MIS, that should happen. So meaning that you'll stay on course. But if you do change, yes, it's flexible. You mentioned, yeah, it should be able to help you with the connection. When you change, what can happen? At the moment, your perception here it shouldn't be according to this, but what proof have you got? Yeah. So this is about the indicator and the linkage. Yeah. And the last, the mental second last important. So when you change, you go like, for example, like activity from the grassroots, let's say. Are you going down there? And, you know, I don't think you do. Do you do?
No.
You go to down there? I don't think you do. Yeah. But you have to involve. How do you do it? At the moment, they say take 2 days to go from one location to another. Yeah. But through this reporting, you know, monitoring progress and all this. Yeah. And Mustafa was talking about, have you got bird flu crisis? Have you?
So,
It comes, yeah. When it comes, is it easily controlled, or just going away by itself?
Control.
Hello? And is it like a, I mean, control? Yes, a lot of control. Is it really?
It's like a risk prevention.
Uh-huh.
Once we hear our neighboring countries and all these things,
Sure.
then we try to take all the precautions.
Yes. And that's the action that you do. What about the result?
Sounds good.
Is it like a, can you saying like this, that if the bird land in Bhutan, within 3 days it will be disappear? Can you give that rock for guarantee?
No, not at
No,
all.
but the schools is so far, we have that problem.
But do you believe it or not, with this organization that I mentioned to you, that they stop the planning, they can see things like, so they can give a guarantee within 3 days. This is Thailand. Within 3 days. And at that time, you know Thaksin? Yeah, Thaksin is, if you're not doing a good job, you sack, you move. And this general director, who had been using this system, I mean, the system is not about the system, by the way. It's not about Trump. It's about you interact with it. Pinpoint accuracy. Yeah. I mean, great, you know, this is pin, you know, that we show you for the past few days, everything exactly, but if you don't. But that organization, with the system and the people, pinpoint accuracy, he knows exactly, I talked to him. And I said, look, when the bird land, I know exactly where it is. And he doesn't go and look. The way people, his reports. When they report, they don't write all this, you know, and send him pictures. Remember, all these pictures? They don't send pictures. They send him location and the number. And he knows exactly what number, what location. No, he doesn't see picture. And in front of his room, because he hasn't got, you know, because you have information, people saying, you know, you have all this, whatever, big computer do all this graphic thing. What he did was, he has about 10 people outside his office. And these people are looking at the system, take the report. So he knows exactly, within 3 days, he's saying he can put the control in place. And birds stop there. And he's the only one that the situation like this, and he has to be sacked by Thaksin. And Thaksin was saying, oh, Thailand was doing so good, we're going to sell this approach. But I don't think it's that easy, because it's synced with his people for 3 years, out of 10 years. Thaksin didn't understand, you know, it was great, you know, he can go and talk to everybody. Even Malaysia have no good control. They put precaution, but they cannot say, that's it. Yeah? But he's saying to me, if it lands, but he can't, one thing he can't control, the bird that land, he can't control it. Once it lands, you know exactly what he can within 3 days. Yeah? So this is monitoring the evaluation and the linking. And the linking, we're talking about indicator, link, this, but it's not just about you using it to link. Yeah? So you use this information to discuss. And remember the dissemination that I put? I mean, I think it has to go a bit deeper. Yeah? But who's driving it? You guys. Yes? You know, we have meeting. This is really meeting. And what do they do is what report? When you put this in place, no move. You say, I don't trust this ministry. Yeah? This one I trust, this one I don't. But if you make sure everything, all this in place, you will trust. Yeah. And at all times, sometimes you check. So anyway, so that is about linking, but bear in mind, when I'm saying linking, yeah, indicators only help you. But if you don't link yourself, you don't use it, it's a waste of time. Remember we talking about, you saying, what was it, internet not working, so you're going to send a form, yeah, a hard form, yeah, and then they're going to fill it back and send it back to you, and that take a few days, huh? And then I say, well, how about make it faster? You print the form into whatever Word, send by email, they fill it, so you and then come back to you and you print the reports, yeah, and send it back to them. Something you linking, yeah, right? And then when you link, there will be a demand. You're going to say, "I'm sorry, this report is not good enough." Right? And in the Bangkok government, when we engage with them, they have been using budget systems for about 5 years, 6 years. I went in and I said, "Can you show me the reports?" You know how many reports they give to me? Budget for Bangkok city is about 12 million people. The budget of the city is about 2 billion a year. You know how many reports they give to me? Budget system. Sorry? Okay. From system, from the like they give me 2 reports. 2 reports. I said, what? After 5 years? Oh, no, we don't normally use it because it doesn't give me this. You know, we create our own Excel. And I said, why did you do it? Oh, no, because we were supposed to do it because it was it regulation. Yeah. But it doesn't really give us anything. We just they have their own. Everybody have their own Excels and books and things. Yeah. But now I think that you use it because they don't use it, so they don't have demand. So eventually it just stay there. So if you use it, eventually I would expect that there'll be, let's say, if it's not 100 or 10 different reports, 20 different reports, one for all this thing. But the driver is you, push it down, and the donga will come and say, sorry, the report that you sent to me is not good enough. Yes? You're the one you print? No offense. What do you want? But the IT, this is supposed to be IT, so you have to go, you're busy, you go and talk to them, change this and that. But at the moment, you're quite confident with the IT guy, yeah? That's excellent. Okay? So, that's a linking, yeah? Linking, yeah? Not about the system indicators. Indicators using. Okay, so we know this. But this is a standard thing, so we have covered most of it. But some of them, if I go through it, of course, if you have not covered, yeah, so I'll explain. But some of them we already covered here and there, right? So once you go through the end, it's a bit boring. Yeah, if you feel that you're comfortable, I think you more or less passed. Yeah, you more or less passed. And I feel that this is why next week we're gonna go into the projects and cycle and things like that. Yeah. Do you understand this? So one example is excellent. Before you don't have this list. This is starting point. I would would be interested. I want to do it last time, but I didn't. But I think I was trying to get just these activities, you know, and from different profile and put it together and try to see any kind of similarity, duplication, thing like that. But when you go back, try to ask Plum to do it. The Plum guy, just give me all this, because we just mentioned, yeah, you're saying no, there shouldn't be any duplications. Because the tourism, anyone have the if they want to have activity about tourism, they should report to tourism authority. But I was on the ground. Oh yeah, we have to report this. Take too long. Yeah, but we change it quietly underneath that. Yeah, in fact, it's tourism activities, but we put under different. Because why? Because the politician have to solve the problem for the air consumed by tomorrow. You know, the process of coming is about a month, 2 weeks maybe. Yeah, and that do happen. And that is that duplication? It is. So this is why, and then those, because local politicians' projects, the officials do not want to touch it and allow it to be outside the systems. Yes. But if it is inside the system, even though they change it, but it's still the same common, can you see it? Do you understand what I'm saying? The activities are the same activities. Yes, exactly. But if they have to say, okay, they have to do it, they have to ask of permission from tourist authority, so they have to go through the channel, the process. It will take weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah. Because they don't have time. So they change it to be under Donna, maybe. Yeah, they change it. But actually it's exactly the same. But we talk about indicator, all those things. But if you make this common, same code, yes, same code. Even though it go somewhere else, a plum can screen out all the activity. Doesn't matter where it's coming from. Will you detect it? You do. Yes, you do. But we're talking about 1 or 2. But if you, my guess, I could be wrong though. When I work on the ground, the one that is not detected, I felt is about 30%. Am I right or wrong? From what you see from the plant, or even more. Some could go up to 50% of the total, whatever your budget is supposed to, because you have the plan, you have the budget. Could it be? I know. Anyone they really coming from the grassroots. I think you work in the village, anyone? Have you worked on from the local government and all those? You do? What I'm saying is impossible. You do? What I'm saying is impossible. Not detected as in that it's a tourism activity, but it appear under different. It went into different, let's say, to Donga or other different program. Whichever fast, we do it. We would do it. Whichever fast, and we could go in. By the way, everything is manual. Yeah. We just go and negotiate. And we say, oh, okay, because the people at the district office, sometimes they have to be a bit compromised. Yeah, that's right. You can leave it. But we go and then we say, oh, please, help us, and then we help you. And we actually got it through. Yeah, but they have to be careful with the audit process. But we did it through. And just a question, before the politicians, you got king, and you got civil servants. And how about for the people side? Do you have anyone, or you don't?
Yes, we
Who was it appointed by the king?
locally elected leaders.
People elected leader. Okay.
They are apolitical.
So they're more or less political.
No,
But
they are apolitical.
Sorry?
They are apolitical.
They're not political, but they were elected by the people. Already they are kind of politician too, but it's called differently. Yeah. So these people will do whatever they can, because otherwise they will not get elected next time.
Our case is different because it do not really happen. Because we have list of activities. They prioritize within the list of activities. There's no case where we have.
You switch this and that.
You can switch among the list of activities in proportion to the class.
Yes, and to go to different programs completely not possible. Not possible. Oh, I don't know, but you're on the ground, so that's what you feel.
So that's one of the reasons why we have actually kept these activities very broad. Basically, we give flexibility to the 9 ministries.
So they can.
We are not very much concerned about what they do or what they are not doing.
Yes.
We are concerned about the achievement of the
Yes.
as long as they achieve goals,
Yes.
then something they given resources.
Yes.
Whatever they do, it contributes to
So there's that. When you say activity, you mean which one?
so long as those are basically integrated broad programs, and then that would, we hope that would give them flexibility.
Yes.
And sectors which have flexibility
Yes.
within that.
Yes.
One should take out.
Yes.
Whether they should focus on training or whether they should focus more on infrastructure.
Yeah.
That's entirely up to the sector.
Uh-huh.
But then they should also tailor their activities in such a way that it does contribute to the achievement of the outputs and outcomes. We would be interested more to see the realization of the outputs and outcomes
Yes, sir.
through the activities.
Yes, sir.
So maybe on an yearly basis, we would see the contribution to a particular output,
Yeah.
year-wise contribution. And then we assess the progress based on that.
Yes. Just on that activity, why you say that each of these activities, because I saw that you have total, which is the outcome, which is indicators, measurable indicators. And do you also have the indicators, measurable for the activities?
We don't have indicators.
Or just
for
broad like that?
We have indicators for output and outcomes.
Okay, all right.
Not for activities.
So as long as they fit with that output,
Yeah.
if they don't, you are in trouble. Do whatever you have to do. If you don't make this,
But to make sure we will have it accountable. We have given you resources to basically achieve this outcome or an output. And now you are nowhere. Why?
so in that case, they if you go deep down, these activities, you really hook it up to the program.
That's true. Exactly.
Yeah, at the program level. And these activities just kind of like remind you, not measurable. Yeah, those little activities. Yeah. All right. Okay, that's okay.
Sure, because again, the understanding that we got from our involvement in terms of RBM and also what the framework is, so we don't assign indicators for activities. Indicators, we assign indicators from output, outcome, and impact. That's the kind of
Yes.
that we have received.
process
So that's why we have not.
No, I think they're different school. But what I felt is right. What I felt is that don't believe me, don't believe anyone. You know, believe yourself what you felt, and this is one side of that. What is fit with good time, right? And to us, the reason why we go to this because don't forget our firm, we are from the MIS base. Everything precisely, exactly, but maybe too easier, right? Yeah, that's the, you know, but some organizations like this one that I mentioned to you, they're precisely, exactly. So they've been living like that forever, right? But you find it too hard. But however, what is most important? Your output and outcome, right? But maybe you can push a little bit, and then some you don't, right? But anyway, so that it should help you, yeah. And then it should be able to what was it? What are other things part of the listing that can help you? It can give you progressive, yes. But the outcome, the progressive, probably you could see yearly, yeah. The output you can probably see on a quarterly, yeah, on a quarterly. And then from there you can start to see what you're saying that you're quite sure that it's not, but you change the output, you know, you change whatever it is. So what you might do is just have a report and have a look, is it really changed? Yes, but this is what you can help. Yeah. But at the moment you don't have any of those. Yeah. Over reading. Should we take? Is it what time to take another picture? Sorry? No. You can take a copy, those things. Yeah, because this presentation that we have is so much. If we put pictures, it will be about that humongous. So we put like that. But it's going on for some time. But all about performance indicator, how is it going to build. Yeah. But eventually going to go down to harmonization. This is the bit that you will be interested in. What is that, the first one? Aggregation. Yeah. Yeah. But without some difficult. Yeah. And improving property outcome index. What is property outcome index?
Sorry?
What is property outcome index?
Poverty outcome index.
Yes.
Could be
Income. Yeah. And what, I'll go back to the cow. And because you got GDP at the top, right? But deep down you have this number of cow, male and female. Yeah, how many? Yeah. So you're focusing on that. You're increasing number of cow, but as long as you do this, it will affect your total GDP. Yeah. But ideally you should do it. I think we make it buffalo. Oh no, I was supposed to have yak. Yeah, yak, right? Yak, male and female, right? And if you have yak, you may do a, what can I say? You may do the outcome. You normally you assess once a year. You may do assess every quarter. Yeah, but sampling and all those things, right? So basically, those when you monitor that, that's whatever you do, it will improve your GDP or negative impact or whatever it is, right? Through those lists. Yeah. You okay with that? In the Tonga, there's a plan. Yeah, there's a plan. And who decides on the plan? There's a plan that I know. But you have like a mayor or something, and he will come up with this. For this, if I'm being elected, I'm going to do this. Not like that.
District Development Committee.
They just sing this tourism, U.S. tourism for 5 years, not passing it for 5 years. So any other sector, do. Yeah. Anyway, so that bear in mind. And I said it because I was involved with this, and they have, and I actually use it too. I help them. And so basically the plan is more or less, what can I say? Not really doing anything. Yeah? So you have to get them involved. Yeah? You have to get involved. And it's something you can translate, something easily measurable. And you will become powerful to influence the country. Because you are the one who, not budget, isn't it? Not finance department. Finance department are not the one who drive your countries. You. Well, you plan for the country. Yeah. But now it's your chance. Money, but don't tell them about input active. They don't care about input actively and output. They care what do I get out? What my people get out? Really the outcome. The output, the outcome. Yeah. Translate into a different something, but it's the same figure. Yeah. So this will make whatever you plan happen. Yeah. So outcome that what and this is another one. And this is the bit that I was involved. There's a debate about indicators. Yeah. Is it something like that in Tonga? They are different. They never get an agreement, you know. Right? So what we're talking about, first level, second level, all those things. Yeah. Connect them, and you are the high one, and then those people can deal with those. But they never will be one. You never get an agreement. Yeah. You now have two. You have Plum to do it. Without Plum, sorry, any of these mean nothing. Yeah. Do you understand that? Yeah. So each district has different. Do you have this situation? Or something like that? Sorry? Do you know that this statement, have you heard that about 2006, 2007, 2,500 people were killed
In Australia?
in Thailand? 2,500 people were killed. But those drug dealer, yeah, because it was so bad that in front of our office in Bangkok, they were trading ecstasy. On this, sorry. Yes, you know how that's the way they're doing is like this. Not more arrest. More arrest. This is a real picture. Yeah. What the way they did it like this, unofficial. Yes. Because they either go in Thai after it was done by Thaksin. Yeah. He aimed the top guy. Yeah. More or less both police. Yeah. I give you 5 months to clear yourself. Yeah. If you clean yourself clean, you don't do anything like this, you're all right. How this guy gonna clean himself? How?
clean the.
That's right. So he terminated the connection. So basically, this guy doesn't deal himself. He got a number, not a dealer itself, another layer, and then the layer out there, and then this people got right in front of our office to watch someone got shot. Yeah, but then there'll be layer, and as a result, 2,500 people were killed, and then drug disappear from Bangkok within the year. Disappear. And did he follow the development plan? He did. That's right. But he came in, he promised that what he's going to do.
That's the mafia plan.
Sorry?
Mafia plan.
Yes. 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 So this thing will affect your plan. Yeah? This is positive. Yeah. But other indicator about the hospital. Yeah. The hospital is supposed to have save life. They indicate they are bad now. Yes.
But
Human.
in our plan, I think this is very much reflected. It's part of the plan.
Yes. Okay.
The security.
Social issues.
It's one of the some indicators for GNH.
Yes.
How secure are you?
Uh-huh.
And then it's basically trying to improve security.
Yes.
Personnel, giving them, if the crime rates in Bhutan are quite high.
Yes.
From the survey shows like that, then I think there are means to. It's basically planned to
Yes.
provide it.
Okay.
So that
It happens, yeah. But again, though, what we're just saying that whether they're going to keep the funding to do this or not is politician again. Yeah. Whether they will, because you have your own plan, you need input, which is the financial. Of course, you have to go to the parliaments and all those. But either politicians who are not the planner, yeah, either not convinced, you may have in your plan, but you don't have the budget for it.
yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So basically, what you need then is the date and the number of people who kill, all those baseline or outcome, whatever, impact data, and something like this. If you use that to sell your, that's okay. That's all right. That's okay. What is that? Pepsi. That's okay. And anyway, so that, and then I was actually involved with this, they call a war against, and then all the communities, leaders and all those things, all geared toward it. At that time, we forgot about education and all those things, about nothing except focusing on this. And the police, we have the community meeting every week and report directly to the Prime Minister. He's looking at those indicators. One thing is that Thaksin is a number guy. He's a number guy. I talked to his general. I mean, he had a lot of general, and the all number 50, and he because he's from private sector, yeah. He don't come from civil. No.
Economist, no?
Sorry.
Is he an economist?
Yes, he is. Cutthroat economist, and this is why he pushed. But of course, it's not too bad. So, but he was pushed everything. He cleared the debt and everything. But number, what I was, we were promoting our MD. I think if you look at our website, you will understand somewhere, right? IT Expo somewhere, and that was in Harvey. And we got the general from he just walked, to the Expo, and he came to our office every day, every weekend. He wanted to implement M&E in his army, in his division, and he told me everything secret. Oh yeah, because he controlled, because in Thailand it's a secret camp, no one knows. Secret camp because they keep it as a buffer between Cambodia and Thailand. They keep about 10,000 refugees there. No one knows. Okay, but Thai government funded, controlled by the army. The reason because they don't want Cambodia to come across. So what they do with Thaksin going in and he go and visit, Normally when the politicians come and visit, what do? High level people, you are from the local district. What do? Receive them. You have all these things to show them, make them happy, and all those. Yeah, and that's what they did in that army. And Thaksin came. Yeah, he came and he was sitting. The next question he asked, how many people you got in the camp? 10,000. How much does it cost per head? 255 baht. The general answered. Per day, per person. He answered straight like that. And then, okay, put it up, and he got it. Because he knows what this guy talking about. Yes, this is why when I ask you how many projects we have, maybe, yes, Yes? But this is the confidence. And that's all he did. And he gone. And all those preparations for weeks. Because he know when he asked, because he could tell 200 without opening the book, or sorry, I have to ask my secretary. This is general himself. And I'm not surprised that he came to when he wanted a system. Do you understand what I'm saying? He asked how many people, he sit down with all this, how many people have you got? 10,000. Okay, good. And then how much does it cost per head? I mean, the government. 255 baht immediately. So he know that this guy, he know exactly, and this gentleman, he believed in monitoring and evaluation, but he just didn't have the system. That's why he came to our office, he begging it every day, every weekend, please sell at them system. And eventually this guy got promoted. So in the Thaksin rank, all the general, the people who got promoted are this number of people. And the monitoring evaluation was booming. But there's another type of people who don't like number. They hate it. Yeah. If these people coming into power, they say, don't talk to me about number. Yeah. Sorry? They like pictures? Yes. Yes. There are two types of people. Yeah. Yeah? Well, that's the one that I show you. Yeah? There are people who like pictures. Yes. But you as a planner,
You should like number.
yes, that's right. Number. Yeah? And then you translate to what? Graph and all those things. Huh? For the picture people. But the real picture, it do nothing. Yes? Okay? So, anyway, so please take care of this, right? And have you heard of National Development Board of Thailand? They're like you. They're massive. Massive. They plan nothing. Because they have no tool, they have nothing. And they are the one who manage this. I went to their meeting a few times. Yeah. And they all the stakeholders. And they were talking for days. Everybody kept talking. But anyway, they're not achieving, they're not following. Because they're so massive, they have no tool, no monitoring evaluation. So as a result, they were sidelined. But they're there, but they can't get rid of it. But they're there, but no small budget. But by the way, if your government do not give you priority, they don't give you budget, what can you do as a planner? Nothing, absolutely nothing. You don't even come here to learn about doing different things. So you're just a body. Yeah? So it's a pressure is on you. Yeah, but now you have a chance. You have one, it's a two. But think about these people. So the outcome is not just about this, sorry. It's from there. Yeah? You have to think about it. Yeah? And use it. And this is why if you can, when you ask question, link, aggregate. I'm not talking about the pump system, you yourself, you're using to immediately, how many projects have you got? What? 250. What's the first one? Yeah? Maybe, sorry, I'm going a bit details and I'll open this page for you. I'll go to the plumb and go to this for you. Yeah? So it's not just a thing in the plumb system, you have to be able to know what it is. Yeah? Okay, so that statement, yeah, so now we're not going to worry about, we got this, so much, what's it, the outcome indicator we saw the other day? Because that's not from the statement from the top, it's from the bottom. Yeah. Yes, anyway, so that part of, okay. Yeah? Do you understand this? Say, yeah? You may see the problem that's a planner, but the position doesn't share. Yeah. Same place, same time. Like for those quick, the woman was walking now, turning. Each of you see it differently. Yeah. So don't assume this is what you see, and the project manager or the line manager will see exactly like you. You don't. And that will deviate your plan. Yeah? Okay, with that. What is real evidence? What is real evidence? What's real evidence?
Impact.
Impact, yes. But not impact, but the figure. 50%, 12%, that's the evidence. But for that, let's go back to that again, because they don't have, this projection I did. I help them. They don't have system, they don't have data. Well, what I did was I went to all kind of websites. It took me about 5 days to come up with one page, but I come up with the evidence, which is the figure that the government could not refuse and vet. So I went to various. Sometimes I even go to NGO and get their figures, and then I cross-checked. Yeah, but this, because there's no system that have to do this. But now you have systems, and you can cross-check. Yeah, and that's evidence. And this evidence you should be able to use it for example, you could have issue when you try to go and you're saying establish this common indicator, not possible. Yeah, but if you have the evidence, not theoretical. Evidence meaning you will find it hard this year because you have nothing to show. Yeah, but toward next year you get that better and better and better. Yeah, so the evidence is measurable. Five minutes off?
10
minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes. Yes. I try to be, because this is the, I would like to have a nice person get more interested, but it's a lot. So I do it this way. But monitoring evaluation is about indicators, outcome. You work around that. Yeah, that's what you do. So this is why I take a little time. But by the time that we finish this, if you all agree or disagree, so I think you are comfortable. I don't think that once you got those, it's all applied to that. But don't look at monitoring, look at this. It's all about indicators. So once you're comfortable with it, you can go back to defense. I think you are the guy, and you are the driver. If you're comfortable, you're confident, but I do not want you to believe me, but I want you to be confident. Yeah. Okay, 15 minutes. Right.
Need to check your emails or whatever.
Oh, just the other thing is that today, tomorrow, we will be moving to, unfortunately, I did mention to Sonam that Macro could not secure in one place with a short notice, but they're doing their best.
7 orders. Because food security is very broad. It's about availability of food, access to food, affordability, it's about utilization,
Yes.
and then stability of the food throughout the year.
Yes.
Yeah. So food when you actually define food security, it has so many components.
Yes.
Yeah. So increased agricultural production may not necessarily imply food security.
Yes. Yes, right. Because it's only part of it.
So which means the outcome should not be increased agricultural production.
Yes.
Yeah. It should be maybe number of months of food insecurity by the households.
Yes.
So it could be just now it could be certain portion of the households
Yes.
in a village would be suffering 4 months food insecurity,
Yes.
whereby they need to resort to borrowing from others. Now maybe after 2 years from now, if you can reduce the month to maybe from 4 to 2,
Yes.
that is an improvement. So increase in agricultural production for me should be an output.
Yes.
Increase in agricultural production, increase in livestock production, things like that.
That'd be what? Output. Now, because he asked on this, right? And because now we remember we say outcome you can't buy. Yeah. Now output you can buy, but when you work it out, sometimes it's mixed. Right? So what I answer is that what I think that maybe how you do your assembly. For example, in outcome, outcome could be a number of a cow again. Yes.
No, but in this case,
Let's assume in this case production, agricultural production, number of cow. Yeah, more cow or whatever.
if you
Right?
can use the same example, cow and
Oh, okay. What can we use for what volume can we use for production?
Right?
Right? Okay. Fine. Right. Yeah. How many? 5,000 tons. 5,000 tons. Okay. And that is the outcome. Okay. The output in this is more or less the same. So really, we can say this is the output.
so 5,000 tons of rice is an outcome.
Outcome, yes.
I won't consider that an outcome.
Oh, no.
Consider that-
Let's assume at the moment we're saying it's an outcome. Okay. I will try to differentiate between the different. And this is the activity that you have the input, which is the output, right? Okay? You know, activity you do this, seed and all those things, right? To be able to achieve this outcome. Now the question is that you need the input, which is the money. Okay? You need the money to do whatever number of times to be able to achieve that outcome. But if the other way of doing it to achieve this 5,000 tons, you know, what other way you can achieve this?
Providing fertilizer.
Another way, you send the money to Thailand to buy 5,000 tons. Is that the output or outcome? Same thing. Is that the output or outcome?
That's
But
output. That's
yes,
output.
that become output immediately. That's the place. But if you put the money in here, train 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, and you hope to do something, and that become outcome.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is about same thing, yeah? Same place. Okay, so this is when they come and after. At first I was confused myself too, but that why switch and change depending on how you see it. But you can increase it by you import it. But when you import it, that's an output. You pay for it. But when you pay for it, you may or may not achieve this. Yes? You have so much seed and all those things, even though you have exact seed, 5,000 seed, it may not germinate because you're not training properly. So that.
So in
Yes,
this
please.
output indicator and the activity indicator is same.
Output indicator, in fact, is not the same, but at the beginning, I would like you to see it as the same. Yeah? Because like for example, we will explain that 13 people come here and train,
Use it as an
Yeah.
activity indicator.
but the output maybe only 2 get certificate. Yes? But really, if you're serious,
But it can also be like 13 people trained.
yes,
That's your output.
the output is the number of people being trained. Yeah? But the activity, I'm training you is the activities. Yeah? Yeah, but the output is when you walk out from the door on the 23rd, that's the output. How many people being
So
trained?
outcome is how much the 2 participants will pass influence the
The-
outcome.
That's right. And that becomes productivities and things. Right? But as a beginning, I would think that if you decide to use output, yes, output. Yeah? But later on, you may want to divide them. But really, what's most important, this is physical, and the input is the answer. So you want to make,
That is was the
The
confusion you also had, right?
you supply, right, to the farmer. And the farmer who receiving seed, they are the output. You look at it from the other side.
So that means how many seeds
Number
supplied?
of households, number of seeds supplied.
Number of household
Be, yeah, number of households received.
so receive certain kilos
That's
of
right.
seeds.
That's right. Because in the case of
That
my
means, output in activity in activities you have like 3 activities there,
Mhm.
but in the end you have minimum you can harmonize the output.
That's correct. Could be one output. You do this to have one output, right? But anything, again, we say output.
No, but
That-
we can't do that, right? Because training is a different one. Supply of seed is a completely
Yes,
different
for this case, yes.
Maybe we can merge the training and the demonstration
Yes.
together, but not the.
That's right. That's it. Yeah. To different activity and the ending result is the same. So you can do that. But yeah. So you're clear. So but for now at the beginning, not clear. Yeah.
What concern is for supply of seeds, output could be this many seeds were supplied to this many households.
Yes.
That's one output.
Yep.
And the number of trainings imparted to
Number of household
we
trained.
should have another output.
That's right.
We
How-
don't combine, yeah.
So
Training
but then
conducted.
what our doubt is in
So you know,
activity supply of
the
seeds,
supply by
kilograms of
kg
seeds
is
supplied.
Yeah.
statement.
But even in the output indicator, it becomes the same, like
Yeah.
kilogram of
Six
seeds
supply,
supplied.
and indicated in the
I mean, yeah, but even in the output.
The indicator for output will be the activities output.
Supplied seed.
Indicate
Yes. Yes.
activity input. But what is the description for output? That's the
How would
point.
you, how would you,
What does it mean? Is what you say?
how should we put it so that it doesn't look too similar to the other?
In that case, I think the outcome and the
You can say this.
Description
You can say this, but let's get a bit more confusing with the whole thing. The result of your activity is output.
So just
Yeah.
now I'm suggesting if you can make a statement for the supply of seeds. Convert that
For-
into output.
Yeah.
How do you write it in this process?
Okay. So supply of seed, right? Let's say, for example, supply of seed is the activities, right? You supply a seed.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you, when you do this, what do you expect? What do you expect? The farmer receives the seed. Yeah.
How much?
How much will they receive? Yes. So basically, if you decided to divide these two, yeah, if you decide to divide these two, the process of giving a seed is called measure. And then how do you record their output? So you go to, we have another one, another official, go and check the farmer. How many seeds do you receive?
So outcome is the result of
That's right, the result. Now put, that's right. The outcome is the result of a number of output giving it that outcome, which is indirect, so you can't pay for it. Yeah, but going back to this outcome, if you pay for it, you import it. Sorry, this is outcome. This is output. Yeah, the exact same place, same thing. Yeah, same, yes. But one thing is, why do I say that at the moment, output and activities, we can combine them if you feel that it's a bit difficult. But the most importantly, monitoring evaluation, you mentioned finance separately. Where you want to see physical and financial. Yeah, that is a must. If you say you combine input, output together, you're not monitoring anything. Then you go back to exactly the same. So you must have at least minimum monitoring evaluation, you must have financial and physical as a separate measurement. But once you get better, you can start to look at these two. And now you look at, efficiency. You supply seed 5,000 house, and you have another person come and check how many did has received. So meaning something wrong or corruption maybe. And so you improve that process. Yeah? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So with that, when you do this, that's why. Yes, please.
Because what we have in our program right now is for every activity we have an output which is linked to the outcome. For example, under the increased agricultural production, where list of activities like for the construction of farm road, then we have supply of seeds, then we have training of farmers. So for example, for every activity we have output. For example, training of farmers, as an activity we have output, farmers trained. For example, supply of seeds, we have seed supply.
Yep.
Like it. So what I'm thinking is we can have an output. We already have outcome description and so on. Under that we have one output description, so that we link every activity to that output.
Yes. Yes.
Output, kalau activity lain sikit output si memang macam. It all depends. For example, you are saying construction of farm road. But at the same time, if you are saying supply of seeds, and if you are going to condense it into one output, where you can't take, because it's a separate activity. Output. Outcome kita it's okay. But in case of outcome, output you can't take. You cannot link
Every activity ki output related what can be
No, I think it is possible, but you may not have. But the statement may be the same, but you may not have exactly the same. You're saying supply seed, what?
every activity
Activities can we have one outcome?
No. I mean output.
It's possible, yes, possible. Like for example, for you to being trained, what is activities? Okay. First of all, buy ticket. Yeah, buy ticket. If you don't buy ticket, you won't be here. Yeah, another activity for you to get trained.
Delivering lecture.
Yes. And then someone had to rent the apartment. Yes. If you want to be trained, and then you're saying you're not going to buy a ticket, you're not going to rent all this apartment, none of them will be trained. Sure. To get one output.
But then this is basically breaking down the activity into again,
Sub-activity.
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 Yes, that's right, that's right. Yeah.
So
Even if you now consider training of farmers,
Yes,
that's an activity.
yes,
Now, if you relate that to the example just now, then
Yes.
it might be, training of trainers
yes,
first,
that's right.
then, booking or hiring a visual to actually go to it.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
And then procuring an adjunct.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so those are sub-activities.
That's right.
I
That's,
think
that's right.
that much detailing is not required.
For as a planner, but the execution of the
Yeah,
people who do, they need to know
Yeah,
this
there is-
because they need to measure.
But then these sub-activities should actually contribute to the realization of the activity.
Activity.
That's correct.
Which is basically realization of an output for the activity.
That's right. That's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
No,
So
Every activity will have output.
No,
yeah.
Yes.
Literacy.
Yes.
महिला में output चाहिए छ
Activity ल्याएको
activity ल्याएको जुवा चाहिँ लाने छ
No, if you go ahead, then all the his concern is one output, but you can have so many activities.
Yes.
And all those activities.
Yes, of course,
should actually
yes.
be possible.
Yes. So for you being trained, for you just being trained, 13 of them, there's a lot of activity happening. You make a phone call, you book the flight. Sorry, that's considered as a sub-activity, yes. But you can also have one activity, one output too.
yeah.
Yeah. It's not either way. Yeah.
Yes, please. Social.
Now, the reason that I said to me at the beginning, you just have one output or something. Yeah. Don't worry about that. Because in July also you're going to start monitoring, right? But if you still hesitation and all this, and you're not starting because until you're confident with it. But once you go further, you say now, okay, good. Now I want to measure, because the process of activity and the output you can measure too. Yes? You supply 50,000 seeds to the farmer. That maybe not 50,000 being received because there's corruption in the middle. True? And then you can start measuring that. But before you go into that, first of all, monitoring evaluation, physical and financial, get that to work. Yes? So physical could be output, could be activity, they all in one, physical.
Yeah.
Yes? But financial. But you must have that. But in the past, you measure only financial. Yes? And that's why you can't measure anything. So that's your must. Okay? And then once you keep going and then you say, okay, now I want to look at is it really the activity is really contributing to that output? Because why? Because it doesn't achieve your outcome. Yes? Because when you don't achieve your outcome, you look at it, the financial progress 100%. Physical progress 100%. But why it's not achieving the outcome? You start looking at deeper. Oh, 5,000 seed supply, but only 2,000 received because someone taking it. Or the seed got, was it germ or whatever it is? Yes? And then you can start to have the reason why you want to break it. But if you start from beginning, it's like a theoretical, yeah? You don't see anything, you can, but by that time, you have nothing to argue because it's a real thing. Evidence, evidence, evidence. Okay? And I think the point, I think the Nobu was talking about, I think I just remember, he's saying there's a consultant that's saying, look at the output, don't worry about the detail, that one consultant advised you. But for us, we have to go to the detailed activities and things. Yeah.
It's not an advice from the consultant.
The recommendation. No,
That's
that's
basically what the consultant taught us was for activities we do not have indicators.
yes, yes,
Indicators should start from output.
Yes.
Right?
yes.
That's the.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, for their terms. And I'm sure they're not IT, they're not MIS people.
They are RBM experts.
Yes, which is the from high level, right? But that's good start. Yeah. But now how you can go deeper? Is it now or next year? Because you got plum. Yeah. I mean, God, if you can go all this detail and you not can't list like this, you're going to be in trouble. So what that consultant saying is right. But now you're moving further. You're using plum, and now you're going to go to detail. Is it going to be this year or next year? Yeah. You may start it and then you can slowly. But eventually you will see lots of this, or maybe lot will become problem, and then you have to harmonize it. Yeah, I'm going to go through the bit of harmonization because you don't want to have too much detail but too much confusion. How do you go into a lot of detail but not so much of indicators? How do you do that? Yeah, that's part of harmonization. Okay, so before I continue, I just talked to this lady. She's an IT. No, she look after IT. Yeah. You're not IT expert, but she's supposed to measure. We will just share together. How do you, I asked her, how do you measure the IT? Yeah? How do you measure the IT? I just share with you. Yeah? And I will try to before we go away, I try to talk as much as we can. So at least you share it, you can see it differently, right? And this is what we did. How do you measure IT? What do they do? Spending a lot of money.
Number of computers bought.
Yes, that's what we did.
Number of systems developed.
Yes. Oh, this is exactly. This is the Bangkok government multi-sector. Yeah. So yeah. So I think you probably saw it. Number of server, number of hardware, right? But is it measure contribution to the outcome or outcome? No, not really. You could spend a lot of money. Remember, I mentioned to you that Westpac Bank, did you went and change your money? Yeah. A lot of input, 500 million, and a lot of output, a lot of system, but doesn't contribute to Westpac increasing revenue. They can't. 500 million dollars. Okay. So in other way, what there's another measurement that you take into consideration, right? First of all, what is the? Of course, you have to come up with a statement. Statement. What IT? You know, what is it? What statement? What's the IT? What can it do for you? Well, really, your country, you have development plan. Yeah. That's your goal of your country, your GDP. Sorry.
Good governance.
Yes, that's close to the GDP.
Good governance.
Yep. Connectivity, maybe not. Services, that's a bit far from the government.
Make life easier.
Make life easier. That's going to your happiness, whatever. Yes. Yes. Now let's say make life easier. Yeah. Go to the statement of your prime minister. That I think he's the one I saw in his interview. I believe my country we're not going to measure by GDP. We're using happiness, right? So he's saying happiness, right? So make life easier. Okay. So and then how do we measure that?
Number of IPSC.
Sorry. Number BMS or
IPSC.
IPS what? IPS?
Integrated Public Service Delivery System.
Oh yes, that's possible. I remember in Thailand when I leave the country when I was 19, 17, right? And I went to passport office and applied. You know how long for me to get my passport? About 2 months. Yes. Every time when they go there, they have a spelling mistake. All those things have to go all the way back. Oh, I wrapped it. No, you can't wrap. You have to have original. I have to go all the way back. 3 months. And you know how long it takes now? 1 day.
2 days, yeah.
2 days. Yeah, 2 days. And ID card similar. An ID card similar? Yeah, it used to take 3 months, but now I can take within half an hour. Half an hour. Yes. 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 So that to achieve the happiness, yeah. So that's how. This is how it is, right? But here in Australia, when they see IT differently, they see IT as saving money. Saving money. How do you save money?
Reducing the number of processes involved.
Number of processes, and that leading to number of people. So really, they're cutting people because that's what they pay, right?
At the
So,
same time, that is that unemployment rate might increase.
yes, I'm sorry, that's a problem of social services, not IT sector. Right? Of course, the social services have to have another training, retraining programs in place, right? Retrain, yeah. Because at the moment, one of the way of cutting costs is to send all the technical work to India. Yeah? And I met with the treasurer 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and he was asked by these IT people, look, we are out of job. You know, and you know what he's saying? Well, we have another program in the employment. You can go into that program and you will be trained to do something else. Yeah. So that something like that. This can sort of give you something that you to go and talk to your IT people. Yeah. So start from the beginning. What is the statement? Yeah. But don't, if you ask IT, this is what going to tell you. This is what they're going to tell you. How many systems? Actually, we got this from the IT. You go and talk to them. How many systems? Yeah, it should come the other way. Yes? True? Okay, so anyway, so that just the example, so you okay? Yeah? So you think you could know what to talk to them. Good, good. And I think your job is not just the farm system, is it? For the whole country. All the line administration, all those. Yeah, because I'm from IT myself. I'm from IT. My first job was I'm programmer in NASA. And I felt ashamed that how much IT wastes money. Yeah? I feel so ashamed. And this is why I become performance. You know how much Australia spent for Y2K? $10 billion. And this is not new farm system, same system. $10 billion. Y2K problem?
Yes.
Millennium problem, yes. You heard of it, yeah? The world will stop, the whole thing will stop and all those things. We spent $10 million. No, billion, sorry. 10 billion. And you know that how much that money can help. Yeah. How much? Sorry? Oh no, it is happening, yes. It is happening. I saw it. But because they spent 10 billion, if they spend 10 billion, see something collapse, meaning that 10 billion is not worth it. It actually be found something. But the Japanese do differently. The Japanese don't spend 10 billion, they spend a few billion. And they wait until the problem started. Yeah. And they wait until what they do is that when the clock's ticking, yeah, they have people standing by. I see the news from train station. The ticket was wrong, so they go and fix it straight away. Yeah, but the Western way is a bit different because we have insurance. Yeah, and that's why the insurance demanded. Because if you have this situation, what's the risk? So they want to spend 10 billion. Yeah.
So Y2K actually was a problem?
What's the problem? But technically, maybe not. But in terms of legality, insurance, and all those things, because there are people who get sued in trillion. Yeah. Because here if you send invoice wrong, right? Okay, if you send a lesser number, it's good, people happy, pay with that, great, you know, and you send for me for that services. But a bit high, they sue you.
So $10 billion was used as a sort of precaution to...
What it does is used for people, technical people, to go and look and change, make changes and all those things. But to make sure that, because what, just give you one example, you know, particularly the date, is concerned with the date. Yeah? So sometimes when you do a calculation, invoice time, money, date, jack, you know, J-A-C-K, jack, but inside there is a date. Yeah, and the date we always say space. Yeah, because if you put 4 digits, and you know clearly. Yeah, but we only use the last two. The last two when become when 99, you know that you are now later than 3 years ago. But when it become 01, you now talk about future, but the computer will think it's past. So it calculates wrongly. So you could get interest of 100 years. Yeah. So your point, and then that's why we spend. But I say why do we spend that? And then if the people get richer, oh, no, of course I get richer. You know, but other people because I got paid a lot. Yeah. But by ending result, do people that's produce and they produce nothing. Yeah. So that we have to be very careful. The statement that you give them. This is really a GM goal, but those days we don't really look at that. Yeah. So it's important. Okay. So anyway, so that again, outcome is not coming from this. It has to come from statement, which is what? Need. Yeah, need. Yeah. So your country, your prime minister. Okay. So now, commonize, agree on indicator. What? Why do we want the common else?
So that
Duplication. Or prevent duplication in such a way that you can detect there's the duplications. Because later on you will see some statement. Because how do you know the activities? It is a tourism activities. But you call for example, what tourism activity you do on the ground? Development tracking route. Yeah. And I think tracking route meaning like a path, right? And then sorry? Development tracking route. Yeah. And then I'm saying building the track. It's the same thing. But when you look at it as a planner, are they different? Because you don't understand what it is. They're two different activities. Yes? That's a bit true, yeah. But some of them you haven't got a clue, but it's exactly the same. Like for example, I was in Bangkok government again, a planning director. You know, Bangkok was smoking, pollution.
Yeah.
You go there. Do you think that because they didn't spend money? They do. They spend billion. And I talked to the planning director. I said, you have the planning environment, was it indicator policies and all this, the air pollution supposed to reduce and all those. And I asked him, have you ever go and talk to the environment people? He asked, no, never. You know why? You know why? Because when you go to talk to those environment, they come up with all these statistical, all these chemicals and all those. Yeah. And presentation, great. Because when you say consultation, normally the one will come and present. Yeah, and present it. And I'm not sure in your culture you intrude. You don't agree. You don't just quiet. Do you say, oh, I don't agree with you? Did you say that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. But in Thailand, no.
Yeah.
So it's more like in the West we would say so. Sorry, I don't agree with you. Right to your face. In the middle, yeah. You have to be polite to them. But in Thailand, it's extremely polite. Yeah. A planning director was sick, and the environmental percent. No clue. Just trying to keep awake. Imagine dinner attend, and that kind of planning is happening because there's no common agreement language. Yeah. And then when common agreement, now we talk about M&E. Yeah. Talk about M&E. This is why common is important. Yeah. Okay. So that all levels right across. Yeah. So, but you're saying it's not possible. Yes, I agree. But how leveling? Yeah. Yeah. Leveling. Yes. That's clear. That's clear. Like the other day I show you compare because if tracking, was it tracking route or building track, you make it everybody saying exactly the same tracking route so you know exactly. Yeah. I don't think you're not the implementer, right? So you really don't go and do this, you know? But you should sell this idea. Yeah, you can sell the idea. Yeah, you can sell the idea, and then when you sell the idea and then start to develop this, and then you because when Mustafa mentioned about duplicate, you feel as a planner it should happen. Yeah, but if it happens, it affects your time. So not possible you go and do this, but you sell the idea. Maybe run workshops or whatever. Selling the idea of why it's common. Yeah, but now before Plum, this leveling is impossible. It's not easy. Yeah? But now Plum can remember. You will remember. So you have Plum. Okay, so you go and sell the idea. So we know that.
Benchmark, for example, how benchmark can be different from baseline?
The baseline is a benchmark too. Yes. Yes, similar. Benchmark meaning you have something set it up and you try to match that. Yeah, to achieve that. Oh no, sorry, wrong. I'm sorry, wrong. Yeah, baseline is where you start. Benchmark is where you want to be. Yeah. So typically, what do? Where you want to be, you tend to compare with. In the beginning, you compare with other places, yeah, other country. But normally, the World Bank, what they do from this country, this benchmark. But really, the benchmark should be your own benchmark. Yeah, not other place. So meaning you got the evidence, you got an indicator exactly in what was detailed last year, in every case, and then you're saying, let's increase it by 20%. Yeah, meaning your benchmark is something else. Yeah, so and then that means you are improving. Yeah, but if you're saying, oh, this year we achieved 10, then next year let's do 10. You said, so you're not improving. Yeah, you're not improving. Okay. So clear? Yeah. Yes, is that right? Not improving performance. People do not want to improve. They will not want to be commonized. It is mine. So they don't want to be compared. They don't want to be compared. And you go and talk to people on the ground. Yeah? Genuine.
Genuinely not genuine.
Can you explain again?
Just like seriously unique.
Seriously unique. Can't help it. Yeah? But you, as a planner, you want it to be common. You try to make it so you can compare. Yeah, you try, because you should not allow for it to make your job easier. You should not allow common. No, you should not allow uniqueness. That's the rule. But sometimes you find it difficult. But you do your best to make it unique, because you don't want to go and look at a tract. You know, when you read out all this, when you report to you, go to this tract and building the road to that tract and all those things, and you haven't got an idea where you want pictures. Yeah. But you can't compare it. Picture one after another, you get no performance, nothing is improved. So when you become unique, meaning you can start comparing. Why this person can, I don't understand what this is, but this person doing this, get this. I don't understand what, but this person doing exactly like you, get this. And they have to benchmark too. Yeah? But people who on the ground, they hate it. They hate it. No, I'm easy going, you know, now I have to work harder. Yeah? But you as a planner on the top, you're really the management of the countries. Yeah? So you want to eliminate uniqueness. But there's the question, how do you sell them? Yeah? How do you sell them? How do you sell them? When you improve performance, you will do something, something is good for you. How?
By giving some incentive?
Yes, what is it exactly? You know, I do it when I go to the ground. You know, you do this, and there's money left. Yeah, wouldn't it be a good idea that money? This is what the Thaksin did. He cutting the head count. Okay, the money still the government still have the same budget. Yeah, but you have less people, so you give more. After 4 years of Thaksin, I have a friend. He's a general director, statistics office in Thailand, and at first he was how many percent? This is the beginning, and after the 4 years, you know what he said to me? Good limit. No, I earn more or less the same as you. Earn exactly the same, because Thaksin used this technique, cut the head count, and the money left. So in fact, he said, okay, the salary, because you can't just go and increase salary, because you have what you call you have like a organization that control head count and money. Yeah, but you can't change it easily. So what he does is that the basic salary is the same, but his qualification of degree of this, he got this, he got allowance. Yeah, 2 allowance. So what budget left? That incentive. Okay, so basic thing like this, when you go to the ground, you have to think, you don't go and say, look, I want to control you, this is why I want you to make it, you know, if you go that way, they will not. You know, you do this, you're going to get this. Yeah, so that's how you're going to sell. Because I suggest that you are not the one going to go and do all these indicators and all those at that level, but you go and sell them the idea and start working on it. Yeah. and then the more they work on it, your life will be easier. Yeah, it's not possible that you have planned, depending on all these hundreds of line ministry to achieve your plan. So they have to be spot on. Yeah, but this is the best you can do. But you can't be your dead boss. Yeah, but you try to put a system in place. Yeah, common indicator. So that uniqueness you should not allow it. Yeah, but sometimes you can't, so you have to let go. And maybe next year you find your art tactical. You use your evidence to go and talk to them. Yeah. But when you have the figure, it's clear. You can promise if you do this, we have to reduce budget by this. No, we reduce headcount by this, and this money left this, and then divided by this. This is what you're going to get. The evidence again. Well, you can tell them exactly this. They're going to do it. Yeah. So use the approach there. Something like that. They refuse. They're always saying, I'm building the road to that place. Not the same as building the road to this place. The planner will say, look at it, what are these? Two different things. Yeah, so eventually, after 6 month consultation, and where are city go? Where is it? Because when you look at it, this is activity, isn't it? Yeah? It's activity, huh? That's correct. But at the moment you put it here, look like activities. Yeah? But really, you pull this out into location, and what you got left is a real activity. Yes.
In your form that you presented last time, it is possible because you're showing the location in a different order.
Yes.
But in our plans, I don't
No,
know if you
that's
so in our
You may
plans
have to,
also we
yeah.
can, because some activity statement is there, but at the same time object code key event. Object code building new construction we were working with different object code opportunities that finance event.
Location, there was activity and location.
So much to work.
That's the issue he was saying, because if you look at this example, it's basically location specific to what. No, he's saying you should commonize this thing, it's basically road construction. Instead of saying road building to the capital city and road building to the airport district, just say building the road something or what. You can put the location in the columns in the one. And you know what?
That's right. So from that, do you see the importance that your line from the program for the line ministry, you must have place for the location. If that's all you can't, because you have to something to do it. It's more or less like
locations are
yes, I know that makes it difficult. You will not get the unique. Yes, yes, okay, that's, remember that I saw here?
This is from Central Ministry. Construction hospital.
Yeah. Construction, all these are active, yeah. Remember that I showed you the other day, oh God. This is the entire city. Also, yeah. And you break it like that, yeah. But this still activity, level 1, level 2. Yeah. At the moment, I know from you have 2 levels. You may later on you may ask them to separate. Yeah. Yes. And if you really wanted to, if you go to all this detail, it could be 4 or 5. But I do not recommend more than 3 because once it becomes more than 3, become very detailed. So 3 is about right. 2 is a bit too little. But for now, good enough. Yeah, good enough because you start to break things. Yeah, push it to 3. That's the thing that you have to prepare plan for. Okay, but not more. Okay. But sometimes if they really want, I want to have 4, but you do it in your book somewhere, something like that. Because don't forget, when you put it in, so meaning if you want 4, meaning everybody has to be 4. Is it possible? The entire country? Not possible. Sorry? There's some cannot, yeah. That's half an hour. So you have to look not just one line ministry, right across. 2, everybody mostly can do it. 3, yes, I think mostly, but maybe not some. Yeah, but generally you can force it to 3. But if you force to 4, I think you have a hard work. You can just do nothing else in monitoring evaluation, just work on the indicators. But indicator is a tool for you, not for you to spend time working on it. Yeah, true. Okay, so that's something, yeah? And also, and then later on you can see harmonize it. Not yet, you keep going. So, yeah, so we clear with that, yeah? First one, yeah? It should facilitate, huh? Yeah? So basically, if you go to PAM and saying, sorry, we only do one active one level, that's no good. Huh? That's no good. Yeah? And yeah, do you understand this time and all those things? That's time. You can look at it by time, remember? By department, all these can start compare. Well, yes.
When you're talking about teaching through creating main level, sub-level, and possible sub-level of indicator, are you talking about the activity indicator, right?
Activity or outcome. Even outcome you can do it. Outcome you can do it too. Outcome you can do it too, not just activities. I can give you an example. Yeah, outcome. Starting from GDP. Agriculture sector is agriculture growth. Yeah, agriculture. Livestock either because I can relate to cow. Livestock growth, right? And that's second level. And the third level is cow. Yeah, but this cow, don't forget, is not what you bought it. The one that you pay something, and that's how. So you can have those levels too. But in general, you don't really connect it that far. But I think, but I have problem with power sector. Yeah, in Africa, because power sector they're going from one place to another across many countries. So I can't use location. Yeah, agriculture where quite nice. You can use location. You have dogma to be accountable. But power sector, how do we can't understand this location? You're responsible from this. You can't. So I just figured out how do we do it. But the only thing that I think we can do, I start doing it. But after I finish this workshop, go back to continue with what I'm doing, is to break the outcome. Yeah, break the outcome side to the 3 level, similar to activities. And then you got transmission on the outcome side. Yeah, more power, more line or whatever, the electricity pass. And then activity is transmission. Yeah, the activity, and then you have what do you do, break it down, and then try to match them, and that's how I think I can link to the result. And then from there, I have to recommending them for the substation. Someone have to be responsible, something like that. So outcome you can break it to, even output.
It's somewhat similar to what we have in the terms like activity, sub-activity, sub-sub-activity, right?
Yes. Again, you can go to many levels if you like, but I recommend. Well, outcome is harder. Yeah, outcome is a bit harder. That's why you keep it just right at home, and you connect it to the programs. Yeah, program you do so many programs. But you can even you say less program. Yeah, if you do it the other way, you say no program at all. Is it possible? It is. But your outcome has to break it. Yes, into this level, because now we're going to stop have a single program in agriculture. But I think yes, you can, but conditioning you have to be able to break your activity indicator into detail. So you can go either way.
And also it depends on what is your outcome statement. If it is only one outcome statement, then we can condense many programs in one program.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So you can play with the program, but you can play with the indicators either way. Yeah. But a good old Plum can connect all those to you. Without Plum, anything that I talk to you is a dream. It's a wishful, theoretical. Yeah. And the gentleman, I couldn't remember his name. He was sitting here, and I think he has the really hammering on that last year, and he got some sort of what we all about, right? Not because when you go and talk to the IT people, I remember I went to, where was it, in one government, and the general director, he said he wanted to have what was it, a system to manage his employee, and there was a professor from IT department came, yeah, and said yes, okay, he hasn't got a clue what it manage employee is. Oh, to have this, I will go build web-based for you, create a web-based server, and they go back and build that. Does that serve this? But he's not. I think he understands when you talk to him, right? But some IT, they will not understand. When you talk about number, they just, yeah. But he does. He's right. I think you will, I make sure that he gets paid well. Make sure he gets paid well, so he can say, build this for you. Yeah. Once he got it done, you can go ahead. But sorry. He's now working for GNS.
Yeah,
before that he was on the company or something. When he came here, he was not working with GNS. Limpa. Anyways, say hello to him for me. Okay. Yeah, I think he's okay. Good. Yeah. And he just start talking about web and all those things, and you're wasting your time. Because they're going to give you a lot of web-based, but you've got no number and figure. Right? But he understood. All right. Okay, so now. Yeah, so you okay? You said that to create a common indicators, various stakeholders for the entire country is not possible. Yes? Representative. You're saying to create the entire country common indicator is not possible. Impossible. Difficult. Yeah? That's what you feel. Right?
It depends.
Depends.
Suppose, say,
Yeah.
It should help you. But just simply go and talk and explain alone and sometimes it's difficult. It's a different their idea, your idea. If they come from different consultants, different idea too. Yeah. So basically, a parting from Plum will give you all the report to measure the performance, performance of your programs. It should be able to give you some sort of report for you to help you, to show the evidence. This is what you're going to do. This is what it is.
Similar case like what you were talking about, like construction of roads, we can set an indicator, right? Because we can commonize that.
Yes.
But in case of, for example, education, Minister of Education and Minister of Environment,
Yes.
right? Providing training on agriculture, providing training on education.
Yes. Yes.
So,
But when you come down to do is a training and training. And I think in your some organization they have organization let's for training. Just training. Yes. And they go right cross sector. You may not have it, but in some country too. Because that's more efficiency, they got same classroom, same resources. You can do it too. Yeah.
So even the farmers training, we can commonize that.
Yes, that's right.
Farmers training in crop management,
Yes.
farmers training in pest management
Yes.
practices, farmers
Yes.
training. Just have farmers training,
Yes.
and then you can,
That's right. That's right. One example why you want to commonize. What are common about farmer training and education? What are the common?
training.
The one thing, yes. But what resource? What resource they use? They use same projector. They use same, everything the same. Yeah, but if it is in one organization, you maximize your resource utilization. Yeah, that's why you want to put, yeah. Because you see that if one life sector have the training department, room, everything themselves. Yeah, another one. Everybody have their own. Are they all?
Yeah, that we have common for example, we were talking about short-term training. we have object code of 45.02, right? So that every sector will not have right, say, for example, Ministry of Agriculture will say training, short-term training, they will use that object code, 45.02.
Okay.
Everyone will use that.
Okay.
one.
Okay.
So it's already commonized.
Good. So it's possible.
Yeah.
Right across. Yeah, but some difficult than others. Yeah, some difficult. But do not back out if it is too difficult and don't do it. But the more you do it, the more your life, you as a management of the country, make your life easier. So you play with indicators. Yeah. Okay. So that's why we do monitoring evaluations, indicators. So anything that you do, you should convert it all to indicator. You know, the previous one is sentences, statements. This why when you come, you're saying, oh, it's an indicator with this, you know. But to me, other people have different interpretation. Indicator should be short and concise. Yeah. So you force them. Okay, but you write your own whatever indicator, but I give you 40 characters. Yeah. So you force them. Because if you let them write the wrong, man, you know, they can just on, and then when they show it to you, is it indicator? But it's in the column of indicator, right? Yeah. But if you force them, go and think to yourself. We can't think for you because you have no idea about the electricity. You go and think. How do you explain your statement in 4 sentences, something like, or 4 letters? And then after they come to you, you will find that it's simple for you to. And then you can start to comment with others. Oh, it looks the same to others. And then you can start to negotiate, training, you know. Okay, so anyway, so that it should help you, but because when you put it in, for example, here it helped already. It give you, because before plan I wouldn't know. I mean, you know, now he gives me the list now. Okay, right, good. This is what I did. Yeah. Multiple level, yeah? Multiple level, we not talk about indicator, we talk about program too. Yeah? And location at the moment you got, we only want to go for Donga. Yeah, if you wish you want to go to Chao, level, yeah? And you can do that. I put it here, I just want to, why do you think that, the yellow one? Why did I put that? What has it got to do with this? Oh, the reduction is your total outcome.
Yeah.
Yes, your expected outcome. Right? But if you have this level, you'll be able to, you know, analyze and improve and compare. Would that speed it up? Yeah. So it's not just your, meaning you're doing your task better. So you're doing your task better, so quicker, so you achieve your goal quicker. Yeah. Okay, so can indicate the change? I talk a lot about indicator. Please bear with me because this is what it's all about. What happened to indicator change? Because all this is the question came to me. They think they want to change indicator. And then, oh, it will change, how can I track back? Yeah? In Thailand, in Thailand, October until September. Yeah? The calendar, October to September. Financial year, yes, the government. But private sector, January to December. And then they start monitoring up to about 3 months. Oh, we want to change the indicators. But you already track, you have already target, you have your whatever, your progress and all those, and you start to change. What will happen? Do you understand this? Because now you know it's a training, okay? And so on, right? And then you're going to start changing it to now training for male and female, okay? and now you become two sub-indicators. Okay?
When you actually change the indicator, then everything should change accordingly.
That's right, should change accordingly, but it's not possible because it's already there, already been reported, That's the difficulty. Yeah? That it should change accordingly, but otherwise you can't track back. But you, for example, you are in June or middle of the year, yeah, and you want to change it. So anything from the beginning of the year, you have to change accordingly.
So then that really depends on what is the reason for having to change it.
That's true, but they all will come up with good reason, and then they'll go, yes, have to change. But one thing is that this is something you have to be careful. But you do not want to change right in the middle because you can't track back. Yeah. So normally we saying if you want to, at that time I just okay, you can do anything you like, and then because I never worked with planning before, and if you want changing, we have problem. So after we said please change it at the end of your whatever tracking period. Yeah. Or the other way is that it can remember for you, but that gets a bit tricky. It can remember that for the past two what it was.
So the reason for the change in indicator has to be due to change in outcome or
Yes, that's right. Because
everything should happen uniformly.
that's right. So basically, when you want to do that for the next year planning, yeah. But if you don't put this rule, they will try to do in the middle because you revise.
The change in indicator is independent of the change in output, then it deviates from the actual purpose of having the indicator there.
Yes.
But if the change does not entail a major change in the substance of a particular indicator,
Yes.
you will still,
Yes.
further sharpen it.
That's correct. That's correct.
Some of the indicators will be farmers training.
Yes.
Now maybe we might like to disaggregate that
Yes.
into, I don't know, the number of male farmers trained,
Yes.
number of female farmers trained.
Yes. Yes.
But the indicator basically remains same.
Yes. That's right. Yes. 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 But this is in this case, but there could be many others. Yeah? The one you play with indicator, because without indicator you change things, yeah? You change that, but now you go to be systematically, yeah? So this change still, people like to change, improve this and that, and now you have to put the rule down. And but the reason I put it there, just bear in mind that could hit you. Yeah? It hit me after first year when they put, and then they asked me, and that's why I don't know what the indicator is, and they give good reason for that. Okay, so but again, if you have to, can talk to the IT that can do something. Yeah? But you don't want it. Yeah? But you want to improve indicators. But improve it, the idea is every year or something. Yeah? But it's a bit difficult if you want to track back to the previous year. Yeah? But in the year try to be consistent. Yeah? Another 15 minutes? Okay. Okay, continue. Tom, yeah.
Unless you want.
No, you. I'm okay, I can talk for days. I can talk for days. Yeah, well, when you feel, because this is heavy stuff. This is not that interesting, yeah? But the reason they're hammering, because this is why we're here, this is why you're doing M&E, yeah? This is why you're doing M&E. There is other thing, we will do process of projects and all those, the next week. But this is the core of M&E, the core. If you might have various process correct, but your indicator is, this indicator, what does it measure? If you got this right, your job is easier, right? Okay, so, yeah, so you're okay with this, huh? Are you okay with that? Fine.
We really took good care of you last time. We say letter, they say acting is much more.
The change, we talk about it, yeah? So you're aware of that, yeah? The top one? Are we reading the second sentence? The first one we explained, have I? Yeah, the second one. If you really have to do it, you really have to do it. Plum, it can remember. So I know you have to go and talk to plum people. It can remember that this indicator is connected to that indicator.
Okay, so if
But
you,
this goes without saying, actually.
Right?
This goes without saying. Just because we're changing the indicator, we cannot let everything to deviate from the initial purpose of the indicator or whatever.
Yes.
So this goes without saying. If you need to change, we can't just change everything. Even if you change, it has to be in line.
In line, yes, that's right, yes. But in some cases, I know in some cases, I face the situation. Yeah, you have to be in line, but I said no, and then some other situation, and you have to accept it, and that's what we were told. For example, what's it? Someone got shot, or prime minister, whatever. There is a situation beyond that too, beyond control. Yeah, there is. Yes.
Force measure.
Force measure, yes, there is. Yes, they have to change. Try to change the government. Like, have you watched this movie, Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Tom Hanks. He went to US.
the terminal,
No, yes, you have that. Yeah. Are you sure it's not going to happen to you? you will stay here for the next 9 months. Yeah. Okay. It's possible. It's possible. Like, is it ever possible? I never thought it possible there was a red shirt before you came. I was not think it possible. In Thailand, in Bangkok. I was not, the last time it was like in 1976. I was not think that possible. I was shocked. I mean, is that possible? Have you been into shopping? Have you seen burning buildings?
Yes.
Yes, we saw it on TV.
But when you were in Bangkok, did
Central
you?
World, yes.
You saw it. Central World, I think. It's not possible.
which, I don't know.
Yes, I think Central World, this is the one in the middle, right? Half the building. It's not possible.
The then
Is
part,
this private or government?
It's private, yes. Private. I think it owned, I can't remember who's the owner, but the owner must be either Democrat, supporting the government, and the Rachel Burton. Sorry? I think insurance, yes. I think they have probably the insurance. But what I'm saying is not possible. I don't think it's possible. You're talking about Israel or something. Huh? It happened. Yes. So it's possible that tomorrow, according to the radio in government Bhutan, the general or something decided that we have to take over the country, and the government do not agree with it, but it's going on. Possible. Yeah. Possible. Yes, all that, yes. You wouldn't think it's possible. It is possible. Yeah. It is possible. Anything is possible. Okay? Yeah. It's possible. The Twin Tower, yes, I was shocked.
nothing is impossible.
Yeah, nothing is possible. Yeah. So basically, when you plan, I know you
What we need to do is we need to separate I and M.
nothing permanent. That's true. Karma. Yeah. So basically, yep. So basically, now because you're going to have indicator, you're going to have that this can change. It can change. If Pump can help you. Yes, sir. Clear with that? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Clear with that? Performance. Yeah. I think we have 5 minutes or 10 minutes break. Are you okay? Yeah, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
친한 친구가
가서 비닐을 뒤집어서 해
엄마가 같이 친구가 되게 잘
Back when they stop. Okay.
이 태반이 가서 누르 사람이 기술을 버리대요.
What?
같이 가자.
1 minute until the end and then put in a new date for next session.
가서 허들하기 싫어서 나가지.
Sort of try to be fast. But fast a lot.
Now,
The problem with the project?
indicators.
Target.
Target. What is achievement?
Yeah.
Yeah. Plum can do that. Before that, when you say I'm doing well, but what's measurable? Yeah, but now Plum can do it. Yeah. So that.
It's not problem until and unless the implementer puts the
Yeah.
information.
You're right. Yeah.
Plum will not do
Absolutely.
anything.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Plum will just.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, without Plum, it's a bit difficult. Too. Yeah. So you both ways. So AMIS will help you. Yeah. To ease the complication of select indicators. So basically, this is why I felt don't be concerned. I saw all your faces very concerned. So many outcomes, so many of this and that, and look like Plum. I felt that the first day that Plum is not going to move ahead at all, but move ahead with it, and then later on you can improve. You use Plum to give you, so your indicator will get better. Yeah, will be improved. Okay, so we talked about change a few minutes ago. So now the change should be either the end of the period or something. Yeah. So you might, when did your plan finish? In 2003? 32 years from now. Yeah, so that's good time. So you can improve your indicators as you go. And then by the time you start at the new development plan, you're going to come up with a massive, effective performance indicators for your new plan. And every time go for 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So I did ask you when you first came, you guys were effective, right, all those things, but how come Bhutan's the GDP is still small? You got challenges. Yeah? You got challenges in various mountains and all those. But through these indicators and monitoring evaluation, it should, but again, bear in mind, the people who make this in your country are your politicians. So this is not just about for you. You have to be able to give it to them, sell them, and they can make choice for your countries. Yeah, so you have a good system, good government. I think it's in 5 years' time, nothing wrong. You see, Bhutan is another, what is it? GDP become maybe 5,000 per head per person, or 10,000 or whatever. Yeah, Malaysia is exactly that. Malaysia is very advanced. Yeah, because they were, but Malaysia has the very advanced monitoring evaluation system. In Asia. Mahathir was believed. Mahathir? Dr. Mahathir? Dr. Mahathir? Dr. Mahathir was the Prime Minister of Malaysia for 25 years. He's still there, but he was not in power. He was 25 years, but he pushing monitoring evaluations. And they built about $100 million, like a plum system, that reported from the grassroots level for, I don't know, for the period of many years. You okay? You okay? He okay. Hot was it? Alright, so that backtracking, yeah? You're doing backtracking. There's a good and bad example. And we in the case of Bangkok government, we did that. We spent a lot of money. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that the approach you take. But of course, when you backtrack, you'll be able to see things. Yeah. So you backtrack now, or you?
Yeah, we will backtrack for the past 2 years. Because later on, when I was completed, we should be able to see what's the progress of them.
For the whole, yeah. For the whole
so that
plan.
we need to backtrack for 2 years. Because right now we didn't insert that progress in our system. Right, so that we need to backtrack. What's the progress for the past 2 years? Yes, 10 plans.
Yes.
So that later on, when 10 plans is completed,
Yes.
we can see, we can view
The whole plan.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And then who's doing it? Are you doing together, or is it a
In
separate team?
consultation with the implementing partner.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, is your team doing it, or you have another?
No, our team and the success.
Okay, okay. So that backtracking, yeah? Yeah, so we agree with that, yeah? Because when this is theoretical. Yeah. What I talked to you so far is theoretical. Yeah. From that country, this country, and so on and so on. But can you make it, if I'm not there, I'm not here, you're going to sit, talk forever just about indicators.